We basically analyze, there's let's say there's four important things in your life. You have your house, your car, your income, and your cell phone. And then and so I have people prioritize those four. And then once they're finished with that exercise, we bring up those same four, and I say, okay, now which ones do you protect with an insurance policy? And usually there's three insurance policies, and it's on priorities 2, 3, and 4.
Or earlier this week, right? Wasn't it this Monday was the 14th? Yeah.
Yep. Mhm.
Or no. What day am I on? Today's Monday. It was last Monday. Geez,
Yep.
I thought it was still the weekend for some reason. I'm completely in holiday mode. Yeah, man. Welcome back to the clubhouse, dude. You played a pretty decent round. At least you hit in the 70s.
I guess technically that's true. I mean, I think there were some holes missing, but
Yeah.
I might just start playing 14 holes.
Yeah, 14 holes. We played at Dad Miller Golf Course, which is a strange name for a golf course, but Dad Miller Golf Course down in Anaheim, California on December 14th. Yeah, man, it was a good round. What'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think all golf courses should be 14 holes, and I think par should stay at 72. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I'm happy to shoot 5 over par every day of the week.
And I wanted to talk a little bit more about advice first and kind of how that correlates and plays into that same theme.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, advice first is really just being a consultative individual, and putting your client or the person that you're working with, putting their interests ahead of any personal agenda may have. There's so many people incentivized to sell a specific story in our current landscape, and I'm not convinced. You listen to enough horror stories. I'm not convinced that people have their client's best interests at hand, and so advice first is creating that community of people who are doing right by client, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in. It's just the like mind of having that give first and advice first mentality.
Yeah, absolutely. And I played a little clip back from when we were out there on the course, and I'd asked. See his hat right here, guys? Advice first. See that guy behind me? That's his hat. That's actually his brand. What does advice first mean, Robert?
Advice first is acting in the interest and benefit of your clients before your own.
Of course, and I'd asked you to explain a little bit about what advice first meant, and sort of the play on words there, because you have some swag and some T-shirts that you give out, and one that you gave to me as my Christmas present was self-funded AF, which means, well, most millennials might think that that means that I'm a huge proponent of being self-funded, but it also means self-funded advice first. Right. But there could be other realms of benefits where you want to take advice first rather than a pitch or being sold on something that might not have an aligned incentive with where you're trying to get to.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, so like the way I think about it, Daniel, is like, if we think about the round that we played last week, which was a ton of fun, but all three of us had areas that we could have improved our golf game. Plenty.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Every area for me.
And it's like, okay, so hold on. If we wanted to make an improvement in the outcome of our golf game, and we want to make an improvement on how we did that Monday, are we going to hypothesize about some of the emotional shots and how maybe we could do it better next time? Or let's go buy this 36 module course and training on how to swing a club and yada yada, and then go by this guy's tips and tricks. It's like, no, all we need to do is look at the scorecard. The scorecard is going to tell us, okay, like, where did I really shoot over the normal par, and how do I address that next time? Because to your point, you cannot go back, you cannot fix something that you cannot measure. And so the only way that you can truly get better the next time you show up for that is by looking at those metrics, that scorecard, to say, where are the strokes that I could take off this game next time?
So I was doing some snooping around. I looked at your LinkedIn profile, and I think it's been a while because we've always stayed connected, but usually we're connected through email and phone. But you have at the income advisor on your LinkedIn page, and I wanted to ask you a little bit about that. Also, what else you're doing? I mean, I know that you're doing a lot more than just golf and asset protection. What are some other things that, I know you just created this brand, Advice First. You have some plans for that. You also host a podcast slash webcast there. I think you're in your studio right now.
Mm-hmm.
What are your plans for the future, man? I mean,
I would love to say there's huge things, coming down the pike, but so far, that's in all 8 years of my financial services career, it's been on the slate for every year. So I think I don't do a good enough job of reflecting of what some of those things were. I just keep going on to the next one. But for 2021, I'm actually working on a book, which I'm very excited about, and it's that same conversation, and it really relates back to the income and asset protection, because it's such an under discussed piece of the financial puzzle that most individuals are lacking on, and even their employers are letting them down on. So the reason behind the name The Income Advisor is, I don't know why, I just kind of randomly thought of that and started running with it. It was probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I just wanted to be known for this one thing. This one thing being not, it's not the income advisor of how much money can you make and I'm going to teach you to make money. It's none of that. It's about income sustainability. And what income sustainability is to me is the idea of, do you have an income source, or how sustainable is the income source that you own? So if you have to show up every single day to actively earn your income, it could be a great income. You could make $500,000 a year, but if it is reliant on you showing up and performing that task, you do not have a very sustainable income source. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, people, I believe, take for granted this idea that if I make, $20,000-$30,000 a month, everything's gravy. They take for granted that that will always continue,
right.
not realizing that it actually depends on their ability to show up and perform that work as a professional. So
I listened to you had a webinar earlier this week, and I dialed in by phone. I couldn't be on the video, but you have a very inspiring background on that. Your father had a disability when you were still coming of age,
yeah.
and you basically lived on a DI policy as his dependent, and it impacted your formative years greatly. I mean, that was kind of what you guys lived off of, and you have a direct relationship with what it is that you do.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what made me fall in love with this space. It was completely by accident that I ended up working for a disability insurance carrier. But then when I put two and two together, it was, that really struck a chord for me. And so my dad was diagnosed with cancer when I was 2 years old. He would live with that for the next 20 years. So he finally passed away when I was 21, and just so blessed to have had him there for 20 very crucial years in my upbringing. But going through that, I mean, I got my driver's permit at 15 and a half, like on the day so I could take him to a doctor's appointment that day to help my mom out. So it was like, that was very much a part of my life as a young man, and it taught me family is the most important thing, and health over wealth, and the importance of making certain decisions that ultimately protect your family.
Yeah. Wow. Absolutely. Yeah, that's just incredible. I also heard in a previous webinar that you were on, or I think it was a video of yours that I watched. This was a while back. This might have been months ago when we first kind of got connected. And you made this very real sort of statement or analogy, and you compared. You said, "Well, everyone." You said it's kind of funny that everyone goes to like the Apple store, the Verizon store, and they buy these, $800, $700 smartphones, and they all buy the insurance on their cell phones, right? Because why wouldn't you? People drop their phones all the time. They get broken. They need a new one, whatever.
Yeah.
But nobody protects their income,
Right.
which, if you look at the cost uh, to protect your income, it's not that much. And you would certainly think that it would be worth it if you had no ability to bring in that same income anymore. That's something you would want protected. But just the mentality behind that, when you made that comparison, it was like, wow, that's so true.
It's Daniel, it's one of these things that I'll take to my grave, and I don't think I'll ever actually find out the reason why this is the case. But yeah, um, to your point, it was a video, and I go through, and we we basically analyze. There's let's say there's four important things in your life. You have your house, your car, your income, and your cell phone, and then and so I have people prioritize those four, and then once they're finished with that exercise, we bring up those same four, and I say, okay, now which ones do you protect with an insurance policy? And usually there's three insurance policies, and it's on priorities 2, 3, and 4. And what they told me was the most important out of those four options is completely exposed. And so it's eye opening for sure, but it's I think it's
Why do we do that? Why do we make decisions like that? It's kind of mind boggling, because if you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, of course I have homeowners insurance,
right,
like fire insurance, flood insurance. I mean, who doesn't? Who wouldn't have that? Or of
right.
course I have insurance on my cell phone. I mean, what kind of person doesn't get that
Yeah,
coverage? Oh no, I don't have insurance on my income. What are you talking about?
right. I mean, it's a big decision to make. And it's human nature to procrastinate, and frankly, the income protection world does not have enough people out there talking about it, which is why I really fell in love with being an ambassador behind this message, because it's just because there's not enough people talking about it doesn't mean it's not something you should do. And I see it the exact opposite way. I feel that, given my upbringing and my story, I'm I was called to be in this position and represent this small world. So
Right on. Well, very cool. Hey man, great round last week. Can't wait to get back down there and hit some more balls with you guys. Hopefully we'll be down there, and well, actually, I think we have something on the books for January. We're playing another round with some other brokers and healthcare professionals. So that'll be fun.
I think so. Are you going to break 90?
I don't think I'll break 90. I think I'll probably stay in the 90s
Okay.
if I'm playing a good game.
I
I
mean,
think
it's if like
When I was in Palm Desert, I played on my best day. I think I hit a 95 or 96, and I felt like I was playing decent golf at my ability. So if I can stay in the mid 90s or low 90s, I'll be really happy.
Yep. Um, I completely agree with that. I think we should put some money on the line on breaking 95.
Yeah. I love to put money on the line when we're out there. It
I
it
know you do.
motivates me to play a little better.
Should we put $100 on it?
We can do that. Yeah. On So $100 for the whole match, the whole 18.
$100 for breaking, for whoever breaks 95. If we both break 95, it's going to be a wash. But you're going to pull out the skins card. It's going to be the seventh hole again. You're going to say, listen, from here on out, we're going skins. I'm going to drain a 30-foot putt, and then it's game on.
We'll see.
And but
So,
but
so
that is,
the first one to break 95 gets a hundred from the other person.
I like that.
Okay.
But we have to be golfing together, or else you could say you golfed to 68. I don't know. I have to witness it.
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely gonna have to see each
Okay.
other. Yeah, we got to keep each other honest on that one.
And if you're in the benefit space, whoever's listening, if you're in the benefit space and you want to join this, uh, reach out to Daniel. Daniel, how are they going to reach out to you?
Well, I'll put my email and information, phone number, stuff like
Cool.
that right here. We can get that going.
We are going to make the benefits world a better place and better golfers.
Absolutely. We want to get out there, hit some balls, play some terrible golf, but talk about how we're going to make benefits better, help employers, help other brokers, and just do a better job. Keep getting better every single day.
That's right.